Hi guys, I trust that you're all well. Yeah, a nice time again. We are meeting for this session. This session, basically, I want it to be a very open session whereby we'll just be discussing, of course, the best way that you can always tend to prepare for your Kasneb exams. We can go ahead and, of course, talk about ways that we should always prepare during the exams and after exams, then what next. So it just be a very open conversation, which I'm inviting you guys to join, right? I'm inviting you guys to join. So the rest as they are joining, maybe you can give them like a minute or two to join. Can give them like a minute or two to join. Also, for those who wish to join live on Zoom, of course, I'll also be attaching a link on this session, just on the comment section, so that you can as well join maybe on Zoom direct. How to prepare for your December exams. This is a conversation that I want us to have. So what I'm doing, I'm also sharing. I'm sharing this Zoom link in our chat. So for those who wish to engage with Molimo directly on the chat, you can as well just join. You can join and let us engage. Let us engage. So I've shared the link on the chat button. I've shared the link on the chat button there. So today I want us to have a very honest conversation about the mistakes that you guys have been making all through, right? You tend to do a question or maybe a unit so many times to the point that you'll be like, is it my village people? Are the village people done that thing? So many a times, probably it is not your village people. It is simply how you just prepare, of course, for these papers, right? So let us start this conversation by talking about the theory papers. Yeah. I'll also guide you on the new structure, of course, that is being used to set the exams. That is over like from last year, actually. We do like a year up to now, the new structure that, of course, the exams are being set. So looking at the theory questions, why is it that majority of the students normally tend to not to work how they were supposed to be worked on the theory part? Theory part, it is one easy way to pass, but again, it is also very slippery. Easy in a sense that, number one, anytime you're preparing for theory, and this will also apply, of course, to all the other papers, the mistake that majority of the students normally tend to make is you have your paper and or during your preparation for exams, you always find that you have a revision kit, which is okay. It's very okay to have a revision kit. But the mistake that you guys normally tend to do is that when you are revising, you're handling a certain concept, you find that probably it is somehow difficult to handle, or maybe you'll face a challenge in handling this question. So what you're going to do, because you know very well that you have, of course, the solutions with you, the mistake that majority of you normally tend to do is that you normally rush to the solutions, forgetting that while you're rushing to this solution, at the same time, in this case, you're not gaining, because if you rush to the solution directly, what you're going to do, you just be copying the answers. That should not be the way to do your revisions. Anytime you're doing your revisions, you have a paper, or rather you're having a question which you're handling, you find a challenge. Instead of you going to your revisions kit answers directly, The best way that you can always do this is that go to your notes. That is, of course, if at all you're having updated good notes. Just go to your notes straight. If you go to your notes straight, what will happen? You realize that at this point, you'll not only be answering that question, but instead you're going to widen your scope. You're going to look at different areas that you hadn't even anticipated. This will give you clear knowledge, clear understanding, and also a clear light. In the event that this question has been tested, in the event that this question has been twisted in a way, you can always, and it will always be very easy for you to handle it. See, so that is one mistake that probably you have been doing, whereby whenever you're doing your revisions, instead of you using your notes to maybe aspect of check whatever that you're doing, if it's right or not, you use your solutions in your revision kit. A very bad way of doing your revisions. So from now henceforth, Mwalimu is advising us that at any given point in time, whenever you're doing a revision site, maybe you find that you're having a challenge in a question that you're doing. Instead of you rushing to your solutions, you are saying you go to your notes. That will help you a lot. That will help you a lot. Then again, when it comes to these questions, handling these questions, when it comes to handling these questions, you'll find that the mistake that again you're going to do is you have a paper which you're handling. These are theory, and at times it is always very interesting when you see what students have written, right? So for theory question, maybe you've been asked advantages of maybe management accounting, or maybe you've been asked what are the limitations of maybe auditing or financial statements. So what you're going to do, you want to start a paragraph. Kindly avoid answering questions in paragraph, more so for theory. The best way that you can get the attention of this marker is when you're asked of, say, an advantage, or maybe you're told to explain something. The best way that you can always tend to catch this examiner would be kindly try as much as you can to give on pointer forms. Say for example, maybe you're asked that then what are the benefits of a management accounting to an organization? Number one, you have pointer forecasting. That is a main pointer, forecasting. Or maybe if I told you having what? Budgeting. Explain the points that you want to explain under the main pointer. What the examiner will do, the examiner will go to this pointer. Already he knows that this person, this student, knows what he's doing. You're going to save a lot of time of this marker. In this case, he won't waste a lot of time trying to check the point on your paragraph. This marker won't waste a lot of time trying to check the point on your paragraph. The reason is you have already given him the main point. So this marker will just pick the main point. Maybe here is Lillian who has given us the main point here. I mark the point. I proceed to the other things. But if at all you're giving me a solution in paragraph, you're making my work to be difficult. And if you make my work to be difficult, I'll not be happy. You see, so try to make the work of this marker as easy as possible. That will help you a lot. This applies to all the theory questions that you'll be answering. Because remember, right now, theory will constitute like 30 to 40%. These are marks that can take you places you've never seen before. So take advantage of this trick, and you're going to agree with Mwalimu at the end of the day. Maybe you'll be like, I've always prepared well, I've always do this, I've always do this. But when the results are out, you wonder why you failed. And yet, out of that paper, you are like, this paper was very fair. And yet, you've given your answers, a lot of your answers in paragraph form. Yeah, you will be surprised, right? So kindly try check that one out. Me, I'm very sure it will help your guy. It will help you a lot. And a lot of students, they normally tend to fall victim of these mistake. So try as much as possible, amend that, and everything will be okay. Come to the quantitative papers. Talk about FM, talk about QA, talk about maybe aspect to do management accounting. These are the quantitative papers. See? How will you scoop maximum marks on these quantitative papers? The best way that you can scoop marks on these quantitative papers, this is a secret. I know probably I might have shared this secret earlier on, but I'm going to share this secret again. For you to scoop all these marks on the quantitative papers, you're talking about MA, you're talking about FM, you're talking about, of course, QA. You see, the best way that you can always tend to scoop a lot of these marks is whenever you've seen a question, right? The first thing that you need to do is make sure that you create an impression to this examiner that you know what you're doing. How will you create that impression? Give me a formula. That is very true. Give me a formula. They have asked you maybe net present value. You can't just start working a puzzle like that. You can't start just working it like that. Because imagine you ask of the net present value. And then instead, you start with your solutions. You see, you just start with your workings. In that case, you'll find that it doesn't work like that. So when you're given, say, like you've been asked a question for net present value, the first thing that you need to do is make sure that you create an impression to this marker to see that you know what you're doing. Tell him that I know very well that anytime I'm supposed to work out NPV, I'll always be talking about my present value of initial, or rather present value of the cash flows minus what? Initial outlay. You show this examiner that you know what you're doing. Easy vito batishi, right? You know what you're doing. And that impression is very key. Because once I've seen that you've given me a formula, then of course that is a mark already that you earned, because by the way, they mark the formulas as well. That is a mark that you've attained. So after this point, whatever that you'll be writing below there, at least I'll be having an impression that this person is not using microscopic eyes. You know what microscopic eyes is, right? This person is not using what? Microscopic eyes. This student knows what he's doing. So in that case, you'll find that that is very key. Always try as much as possible. Do not always try as much as possible to give a formula first, because once you've given a formula, then whatever that you'll be writing below, you'll find that will create what? A very good impression to this person. That is, of course, another case of, that is, of course, quantitative papers. I think I've talked about revision, where I've told you guys that the best way to do your revision is use what? Use your notes. Don't use a revision kit. Allow or maybe make this revision kit to be a point of comparison, not reference. Yes, they'll help you, but make these revision kits to be point of comparison, not point of reference. You tried to work it out, you had an issue, go to your notes, try to identify the questions, or rather the solution in your notes. Whenever there's a challenge, you do what? You go to your notes, so that whenever you are working it out, you go to your revision kit now, try to compare whatever that you've done and the suggested solution, because that's how you'll find that the solutions on this revision kit will always be terming them as what? Suggested solutions. So check. This is what I've done. This is what was suggested. So am I in the same line, or am I going in the wrong direction? That will guide you in that. But ile story, unaanza kufanya a question, you find a difficulty, you don't even think, you rush to your solution, that's a wastage of resources that you're having, and it might mess you big time, to the point that you'll be in an exam situation, a question, similar question, with a small twist, it will put you off completely. It will put you off completely. So try that strategy. And I know very well that, of course, you're going to do it. You're going to thank Mwalimu after your exams are out. Another conversation that I also want us to have, these are for the students who normally tend to do retakes. Yeah? these students, they normally have a lot of issues. I know right now it is only 1 month remaining. Yeah, not even 1 month. You're already roughly like 3.5 weeks remaining for your exams. The mistake that this retake student will do, probably, this is the time that probably this person will want to study, right? This is the mentality that I want you to remove always at the back of your mind. If I told you you're doing a retake paper, if I told you you're doing a retake paper, don't make this mistake. Don't go in an exam with a mentality that already this paper I had already done it before. In that case, you'll be committing suicide. Why? The reason why Mwalimu is saying that you'll be committing suicide is that your approach will be like, I am doing this paper for the second time. I am doing this paper for the third time. Meaning that there's a very high probability that you're going to overlook some concepts. And probably these concepts that you're overlooking are the same concepts which might be tested. So at any given point in time, whenever you are handling this paper, even if you're doing a retake, kindly approach it as if you're doing this paper for the first time. Correct? Approach it as if you're doing this paper for the first time. If you go with that mentality, I can assure you that your chances of passing this paper will be very high. That's why you'll find that a person has done a paper for the second time, for the third time, almost up to the fourth time. Then you'll be like, my village people, they don't want me to pass this paper. It is not your village people. Yeah, it is not your village people. It is you. It is you. So kindly, for those who are doing retake, I'm really insisting, change your approach. Approach this paper as if you're doing these papers for the first time. This will really help you a lot. That one, for sure, I can assure you that it will really, really help you a lot. We are remaining with 3.5 weeks. Mwalimu have not been studying. Where am I going to start from? Yeah, 3.5 weeks remaining. If at all you can look at it. Mwalimu have not been studying, Mwalimu have not been serious, or Mwalimu I'm the one who has always assumed that I did this paper before, so I'll only have like 2 weeks to prepare. You're that person. Oh, Mwalimu, theory, these are very simple papers I can just read on myself, then I go to the exams. It's okay. But here we are, 3 weeks remaining. What can you do? We can't reverse time. So this is a strategy that Mwalimu will want to share with us. With these 3 weeks remaining, you can literally do a lot. You can do a lot of things. Literally, you can make a very huge difference on whatever that you've been doing. So at this point, of course, for those who are doing theory, auditing, MIS, economics, company law, this is the approach that I want to advise you. If at all you are doing theory, approach this like go to each and every topic. Go to each and every topic. Select like 2 questions on each and every topic. The first set, try work it out. Whenever you're having a question or whenever you're having a difficulty, go to the solution. Go to the notes. Don't go to the solutions. Go to the notes. Do that round 1, even if it is week 1. Do that in all the topics. At least two questions in each and every topic. Week 2, the same thing. Identify 2 different questions in each topic. The last week, identify 2 questions in each topic. In this case, you'll have covered, with the 3 weeks remaining, you'll have covered at least 6 questions in each and every topic. Then after exams, come and give me results. After your exams, come and give me results. If at all, use this strategy. You come and give me your results. If at all, you use this strategy, and you'll see a very big difference. 4, computations. Of course, at this point, we know very well that not everything will be tested. So the question would be, how will I prepare given that I'm having like 3.5 weeks? The syllabus is so huge, I can't start doing everything in the syllabus. This is now where we are going to come in. Yeah, that's now where our speciality is. I can proudly say that. See? So at this point, of course, there are very good strategies that you need to implement within these 3 weeks that have remained. Strategy number 1 for these computations. Of course, there are those basic elements that you need to understand in each and every, of course, unit that you'll be doing. There are these basic concepts that will be required to do what? To understand. Master the basic concepts. After you have mastered the basic concepts, of course, there are concepts that you have to do that analysis. And the beauty part is that we've done this in our model papers very well. So, for example, like, let me see if at all I can fetch one model paper here. I show you how we normally tend to do this. Of course, there are basic areas that are tested. We said you master all these basic areas that are always tested. After that, try identify. We've assisted you to do this analysis. Like, what are the concepts that, of course, might be tested, given it doesn't mean that whatever that was tested the semester cannot be tested this semester. It can. But the good thing is that how do you analyze it? And that's what I'm saying. I can proudly say that is where we normally tend to come in. So, for example, I just want to show you a very simple model paper here, the one that we've been doing in class for those students who are in Darasa. So these are what, let me share this, whereby it has covered literally everything in your syllabus, but on specific areas where you need to be very good at. See, so I'm sharing this doc with us. And for those who are in request, for those who want a blog model paper, of course, you can always request on our WhatsApp number 0708068851. We'll gladly share with you. Say at this point, this is a good model paper for us. This is model paper 2, financial management, one that you're doing a revision. You see, we have 5 questions, but it has been designed in a way that it has literally covered almost everything in your syllabus. It has covered like 80%. You see all these questions. Yes, there are 5 different questions, but I can assure you it has covered like 80% of your syllabus. So that maybe whenever I'm doing, say, like question number 5C, I think I'd posted this video, if at all I've not posted, either on YouTube or maybe in our application. You ask a question. In this case, you'll find that one question has literally covered like 3 or 2 topics. See, go to another question. The same question, yes, it is only one question, but it has covered different part of the topics that we'll be having. So in this case, it will help you. You know, like you need to have a strategy. The beauty part with professional papers, you need to have a strategy. So once after we cover the basic elements, now we come to these specific areas that these things can be tested. I want you to mark this paper very well. If at all you don't have, of course, you can always request. The same can be shared to you, our model papers. And we also have the videos, by the way, of the same model papers, which we've literally prepared for all these questions in our model paper. They really help you a lot, guys. They really help you a lot. So the strategy is, with this remaining time, you know very well that you cannot do everything. So the best way would be, number 1, make sure that at least you go to the basics. After you're done with the basics, then proceed and look at these specific areas. I'm very sure they really help you a lot. That one I'm definitely sure. So if at all you are in need of a block model papers, of course you can request. This will be shared to you. If at all in this case you need the videos, then it is easy. Very easy to access our revisions. Very easy to access our revisions. So how will you access our revisions? allow me to share with you this one. Allow me to share with you this one. We have our platform, app.mdarasa.com. This platform, you can, number one, download it on your desktop, or you can as well download this platform on your phone, via phone application. You see? So in this case, if you come to, we have coursework, we have revisions, we have like virtual recorded. But all our courses are reduced to black, they're saying black November, right? All these courses are discounted for all content. For example, these are we normally tend to do for our recorded version. If you open, say, financial management, you're going to get all the classes that we've been doing for this current semester, all the classes that we've done for this current semester. Up to this point where we are talking, we have almost up to 20 lessons. You see, then in addition, you'll be able to get now the recorded per topic. So you have two areas of the aspects of what? Of your recorded version. When you come to revisions now, you see, we have the coursework, we have the revision area. So for revision area, these are what we do have. These are now purely revision only. If I open, say, like financial management for December 2024 revisions, you'll find that we have what? 3 model papers. We have 3 model papers. Model paper number 1, question 1 to 5. Model paper number 2, question number 1 to 5. Model paper number 3, question number 1 to 5. Covering different areas, meaning that you're talking about what? 15 questions, 15 good questions. I can assure you with a lot of confidence that if at all you go through this, unless, I don't know, if at all you go through this, your chances of passing, I know they'll be very high. They'll be very, very high. So this is how we've arranged our revisions. See, like if at all you can come to maybe, that was, you're talking about revisions, coursework, our focus is on the revision, just the way as Mwalimu has guided us. You'll find that doing that, me, I'm very sure that you'll be, as when your results will be announced, and all of us will be smiling. Yeah. So these are revision. And if at all you watch this video, you're not going to pay the 2.5. So you need to prove that you watch this video, we can give you extra discount. You need to prove that you watch this video, we can give you extra discount. I don't know how you're going to prove it, but you need to prove that you watch this video for you to earn extra discount. You won't pay 2.5. There's a special discount that we're going to give you to access these revisions. Me, I know they will help you a lot. I know they'll help you a lot. So with all that, if at all you implement what Mwalimu has shared with us, there's no chance for regret. There's no chance for regret. If at all you just implement whatever that Mwalimu has shared with us, I'm very sure there's no chance for regret. We'll never regret this. And of course, after your results, you'll all be like, thank you, Mwalimu. Thank you, Mwalimu. So with all these that I've shared with you, me, I'm very sure if you just implement this, all of us will be celebrating moving to the next level. So if you're having a question, the chat is open. You can ask any question. If you're having a question, the chat is open. You can ask any question on the chat button there. If at all you're having any question, Mwalimu is here. Today I'll say that I'm answering all your questions. Where you need an assistance, where probably you think you've been doing things wrong, I'm here to assist you guys. If at all you're having a question, the chat is open. The chat is open. The chat is open. And later on, if at all you feel you want to engage us more, our number is 0708068851. I've also added it on the chat there. If at all you feel like you want to engage us after this. So with all this, I wish you nothing but the best. I'll continue share the videos that will help you in your revision, of course, on the here on the platform YouTube. Of course, I normally don't post all the videos. I normally tend to post some few videos. So I'll continue doing that and to assist you to the best that you can as you prepare for your exams. So to this point, guys, I wish you nothing but the best.